Where the ground table goes.
Tweedle down.
That's quite a mouthful. And I'm not sure I've got the appetite for it. Might I call you D for short?
Certainly, and might I call you Dunn for short?
Well,
Never mind. We have an important message for these fine folks.
oh yes. The Queen of Hearts proclaims, go your heads.
Contrary-wise, I meant the message from heaven.
Oh, of course. The royal proclamation is rescinded. And the Hatter would like you to know he's hosting a dinner. Sort of a tea party and sort of a dinner at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, November 8th. And you're all invited to come.
In addition to the dinner and live auction, a live auction will be conducted to benefit Channing Memorial Church.
Is a reply to the invitation requested?
Yes, indeed. If you'd like to attend and haven't replied already, either see Ostara after the service or sign up for the sign-up genius that's been sent to your email by the day's end. Tweedledum, how is our attendance looking so far?
Ostara says we have about 73% of last year's attendance. Is that good?
Semi-contrary-wise, we're hoping for more.
Is there a dress code for the occasion? Would what I'm wearing right now be appropriate?
Costumes reflective of Wonderland style are welcome.
I like the costumes they're wearing now. Are those welcome too?
Of course, come as you like. And I hear Ostara and Dan have some costume pieces to lend. They'll be available downstairs after the service.
What if someone can't come on that night?
They can still place bids in the online silent auction and sign up for fixed price items.
But they're out of luck for bidding in the live auction. And there's just nothing to do about it, like when the Queen says off with your head.
Most contrary-wise, anyone who can't make it can arrange for a proxy bidder. For all questions, ask Ostara or check your email for all the pertinent information.
I hope you all enjoy perusing the catalog. And don't forget to print it out and bring it on Saturday night.
Thank you for your kind attention and your generous support.
For it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence. The bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit to join our voices in our opening hymn, number 21, in the gray hymnal for the beauty of the earth.
Our chalice with these words by Katie Savani Galfan. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another. We cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other. For it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us.
I invite you to gather round as we hear a special story called All Around Us by Zelina Gonzalez, initiated by Adriana M. Garcia. Grandpa says circles are all around us. We just just have to look for them. He points to the rainbow that rises high in the sky after a thundercloud has come. He traces the colorful arc with his hand and says, "Can you see? That's only one half of the circle." The rest is down below, in the earth, where water and light feed new life. That's the parts we cannot see. But in my mind, I try. Grandpa and I work side by side in the garden, planting flowers and pulling vegetables. We eat what we've grown: crunchy lettuce, sweet carrots, and spicy chili. Grandpa saves the stems, leaves, and seeds to bury back into the ground. "Here is another circle," he says. "What we take from the earth, we return." He draws a big circle on his belly with his hand and a little circle on mine, and says, "We even have circles inside of us." This makes me laugh. Grandpa and I take a walk around our neighborhood, where we find other circles: the sun, the clock, the bicycle wheels. We stare at the green and brown rings in each other's eyes for a long time, and then we laugh again. He's right. Circles are everywhere. I'll show you one more important circle before the big round moon comes out, says Grandpa. We walk way back in our yard and sit under a tall pecan tree. Grandpa seems sad when he sits here, because this is where we bury the ashes of our ancestors. I don't remember them, but he does. Even our bodies return to the earth, he says, and pats the ground with his big hands. That's only half of the circle. That's the part we cannot see. Finally, we walk to the front yard to water our smallest tree. Grandpa planted it for me on the day I was born. And everything that fed me while I grew in my mother's belly is buried at the roots. I love bringing water to the apple tree that is already taller than I am. Grandpa pats my head and says, "Do you see, my grandchild? We have new life with you." I am part of the circle too, the part we can see, just like a rainbow. Thanks for listening. Please remain seated for our prayer hymn, Find a Stillness, number 352 in the gray hymnal. the silence that follows the spoken prayer, you are invited to come forward and light a candle for any joys or concerns you hold in your heart this morning. Spirit of life, we lift up this morning JL, Charlie, and all the beloveds and their family. We offer prayers for rest and peace for Lorraine Hurley, sister of Charlie, as she struggles to breathe as long as possible in University of Maryland intensive care. May we hold Lorraine and her family and friends in love and light. Spirit of love and life, source of all that is, may we remember we are shaped by all that has ever been. Ancestors, meteors, evolving life forms. And may we remember that we shape all that will ever be. Children, the children's children, the health of this very earth. May we celebrate the web of all creation that binds us together as one great spirit. The leaves and the rocks, the trees and the birds, imbued with the same divine love, held together in nature's perpetuity. Those elements whose finitude is seemingly endless, and those of whom life is so fleetingly short, yet everlasting in legacy. May we draw strength from those who came before, as we share wisdom with all of those who are yet to come. Remind us, all that was affects all that is, and all that is affects all that ever will be. In this way, may we live on and on and on. May it be so, and amen. I light a candle for the joys and concerns of those beloveds holding us virtually, joining us virtually. And I light a candle for all else that remains in our hearts and minds this morning. If your heart is hurting, know that your community is here to help, as am I. Please reach out with any needs.
In the words of Alice Necheka Naisman, let us take a moment to honor the ancestors of this church, the people who first came together to create a home for liberal religion here, a home for liberal religion here at Channing Memorial Church. We worked to raise money for a building, sat in committee meetings and created bylaws, chopped and marinated and baked for potlucks, painted and weeded and pounded nails and washed countless dishes, who gathered to worship, to learn, to grieve, to heal, to serve, to build justice, to transform their lives in this world. We are the recipients of an incredible gift and a beautiful vision. Let us do our part to keep this congregation strong, vital, and thriving for the generations to come. The morning offering will now be gratefully received. For all that you give and all that you and its wider concerns, we give thanks. For those who came before, by Reverend Michelle Collins. Holy stillness, we sit in the shade of trees we did not plant, speak the voices shaped by languages we did not create, breathe free air that others died to protect. Every freedom we exercise, every opportunity we pursue, every moment of safety we enjoy carries the fingerprints of those who came before us. We remember ancestors of blood and choice, known and unknown, who endured hardships we can barely imagine, so we might inherit possibilities they could only dream. We carry forward the hopes of enslaved people who chose love over bitterness, immigrants who crossed oceans for children they would never meet, activists who planted seeds in ground too hard for them to see bloom. Their struggles live in our bodies, their dreams in our daily choices, their unfinished work in our hands. May we honor their sacrifices, not through nostalgia, but through action, not through guilt, but through gratitude that moves our feet toward justice. Let us become ancestors future generations will thank, planting trees whose shade we'll never rest in, fighting battles whose victories we won't live to see, loving this world forward with the same fierce hope that brought us here. They Are With Us Still by Kathleen McTeague. In the struggles we choose for ourselves, in the ways we move forward in our lives and bring our world forward with us, it is right to remember the names of those who gave us strength in this choice of living. It is right to name the power of hard lives well lived. We share a history with those lives. We belong to the same motion. They too were strengthened by what had gone before. They too were drawn on by the vision of what might come to be. Those who lived before us, who struggled for justice and suffered injustice before us, have not melted into the dust and have not disappeared. They are with us still. Their lives they lived hold us steady. Their words remind us and call us back to ourselves. Their courage and love evoke our own. We, the living, carry them with us. We are their voices, their hands, and their hearts. We take them with us, and with them choose the deeper path of living. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in hymn 298, Wake Now My Senses.
the season of Dia de los Muertos and Samhain and All Souls and All Saints, it is a time when the living and the dead transcend the realms that separate each other and join together in love and beauty and memory. The mortal with the immortal, the finites with the infinites. The veil between the living and the dead is permeable and thin as we reach out and touch all of those who have passed, heart to heart, spirit to spirit. When we hear their sacred whispers all around us, pause and listen. Murmurings of love, of memories, of hope, of inspiration. All of that of which the dead want to bestow upon the living. It is a sacred and hallowed time, a time to remember they remain in the landscape, in our spirits. Come back, cries ancient Greek author Euripides, even as a shadow, even as a dream. Our ancestors remain through the generations in their legacy. I wonder if this is what these holidays are about. Yes, connecting with our dead loved ones whose spirits live on within us and around us, but also to make us look into our own future grave. In these celebrations, we realize that our lives are poignantly finite. If taken to heart, we focus on our own imminent mortality, focusing on our own legacy. I begin this discussion by offering a couple of important caveats. It is such a complex theme to explore. Ancestors are not always those of whom we share blood. Ancestors can be chosen. It is the myriad people who came before us, shaping just who we are. Likewise, generations do not have to be passed down from parent to child to parent. Many of us will not be parents, but our legacies live on. There are those ancestors whom good memories are few and far between. There are those who do not offer lessons of what we should do, but of what we should not do. There are those who tried and failed, who did the best they could but fell short. There are those of us who do not know much of where we came from, whether a rich history of activists or immigrants, or those who simply persevered. I encourage conversations with those generations who are still here before these stories are lost to the trees and the brown earth. The popularity of DNA kits speaks to the desire for connection and knowledge of those who have come before. So I encourage us to learn, question, research, and grow. There is not much that is universal in death or even in mourning. But one thing that is often universal is the idea that our beloveds are still with us, that they never truly left. Our atoms disperse, and we become a part of all that is, held in the trees and the deer and the bubbling spring. We are parts of a never-ending cycle of birth and death found in nature. There are the memories and stories that we hold forever in our thoughts and hearts and spirits. These stories offer strength and unconditional love as we work to emulate those who came before, passed down and down and down. There is the literal blood in our veins and genes that alter every piece of what we are and who we are and why we are, passed down and down and down. Can that universal stardust, of which we are each made, be a connection between the living and the dead? To some, our ancestors are held in another blessed and beautiful realm, a piece of an everlasting, immortal, and divine life that we could never truly understand. Our beloveds are with us in spirit. They never truly leave. I'm reminded of the memory of my great-grandfather, Yoshinari Shimamura, held in my very being though we never met. Yoshinari immigrated from Japan to the United States in search of a better life. He established himself in this novel country, marrying and fathering 2 children, one of whom became my grandfather. By the time my grandfather was in grade school, World War II broke out, and this country became a vile place to live for those of Japanese lineage. My great-grandfather lost his business, and my grandfather faced violence regularly at school. So why do I share this? Because of their strength. Their strength to persevere amidst hate and violence and stigma and fear. And this was a legacy. This was passed down through the generations. While no succeeding generation faced such violence and bigotry, we hold an intense and everlasting strength and determination. I have seen my own generation and the generations above me act with such strength and perseverance, overcoming great adversity. And I have respect for this. And I thank Yoshinari Shimamura for the legacy he left on our family. Our ancestors have collectively shaped all that is. My ability to go to receive higher education as a woman is because of the lineage of women before me. My grandmother was the first woman in our family and one of the very few of women of her generation to receive a college education. Desegregation is because of the myriad Black individuals who risked life and livelihood to offer a better future for those descendants of whom they would never meet. Immigrants of all nations traveled great distances for a better, more secure life for their children and great-grandchildren. These are profound legacies. And there is a great-grandmother whose simple kindness and unconditional love was passed from generation to generation. A grandfather who pursued not monetary gain, but a life lived around values and integrity, passed on and on and on. And this kindness, love, and integrity ripples throughout the web of life. Our ancestors wanted to offer us perseverance. They wanted to offer a flicker of hope that can never be extinguished. These are their legacies. This is how we remember them. This is how, though gone forever in body, they remain immortal in spirit. Which begs the question, what do we want our legacy to be? What will remain of us when inevitably our physical bodies leave this blessed realm? How can we face our own mortality? This is a conscious and intentional decision that many do not consider. I want mine to be that of a faith leader, passing on the tenets of a life-giving faith that in many ways saved my own life. I want to pass down compassion and love and an understanding of dignity and worthiness. Do we want our legacy to be enduring strength and perseverance as my great-grandfather, or a pioneer in education as my grandmother? I speak to myriad people in my line of work, many of whom are grappling with just this, who they are. And it is who we are that in so many ways shapes what we leave when we cross that veil to the dead. Someone who overcame the adversity of addiction offers the generations the power of perseverance. Someone who overcame poverty offers the next generation the strength to overcome all sorts of adversity. Someone who became the first in their family to go to college offers the next generation hope that they too can achieve the unexpected. Your legacy is what you leave long after you leave this broken and beautiful realm. We face finitude and impermanence. So what piece of us do we want to live on in perpetuity, affecting all that is and all that ever will be? We can feel so intimately tied to a direct ancestor when we contemplate the value of what they offered us, love or strength or perseverance. We connect with the poignancy of what we have received. Someone gave us that of which they held deep and intimately within, and this directly shaped exactly who we are, faults and strengths alike. And we connect with them through that love and beauty that transcends even death. May we accept death and mourn death so that we, in turn, can truly heal and be united with the deceased in mind and in spirit and in story. It is the trees and the memory. It is acceptance, learning to live with the new reality. We lose partners and friends, leaders, and elderly grandparents, each with its own distinctive path and unique journey of mourning and loss, some far more poignant than others. Acceptance is when we are able to return to our own life, with a gaping hole in our hearts, with a life that will never look the same or be the same, but will progress with a sense of normalcy, from day to month to year. We grow and learn and thrive. Reverend Kathleen McTeague offers, we the living carry them with us. We are their voices, their hands, and their hearts. They are always with us. Sometimes we just have to look. And the trees in our memories and our blood on the other side of that thin and permeable veil, and the stardust and in a sacred and unknowable realm, they are there whispering into our ears. So, in this celebratory season of death, may we reach through that ever elusive yet thin and permeable veil, whispering our lament to them as they whisper their love to us in return. This is a sacred and hallowed time. May we remember we are neither the beginning nor the end, but part of all that is, was, and ever will be. We are not eternal in a physical sense, but in our legacy. So may we embody the legacies of our ancestors, and may we embody our own in return. May we shape all of those who are yet to come, leaving this realm in body, but remaining in spirit. What do we want to leave in this world, long after we have left this impermanent and finite realm? So, may we carry the strength and determination and perseverance of all of those who have came before. May we connect with them through that love and beauty that transcends even death. May we accept and mourn so that we in turn can truly heal and be united with those we have lost in mind and in spirit. In the wind and the trees, they are there. In our blood and our memories, they are there. All around us in ways tangible and intangible. The wind, the trees, the story, and the spirit, they are there. Through the veil, they are there. May it be so, and amen. Our loved ones live on, held forever in our hearts, having shaped and molded us into just who we are today. Those who have passed are never truly gone. Up front we hold a lifeless tree calling for beauty and life. In just a moment I will ask you to write the name of a beloved ancestor on a leaf. On the opposite side of the leaf, I invite you to write a note to one who has passed. I offer that you begin with the phrase, thank you. What has your beloved ancestor bestowed upon you for which you are profoundly grateful? We will then come forward and place our leaves on the tree. To those of you joining us on Zoom, I invite you to type the name of your beloved and their impact to you in the chat, and Virginia will write it onto a leaf. Leaf by leaf, the tree will come to life. Leaf by leaf, the tree will burst into beautiful reds and oranges and browns. Just as our memories bring this tree color and life, so too do our memories bring beauty and life to us. May we bless this tree and those leaves held sacred. To this holy tree we offer all we hold within us, and all that our beloveds gifted to us held in our hearts, souls, and minds, and in doing so fostered beauty and life. We hold these gifts forever in love, in healing, in solace, in peace. May this tree be blessed by those precious imprints left upon us that will last a lifetime. In this moment, we honor the bonds that unite us in life and death. May we pause, hold our hands over our hearts, and offer a deep, unconditional love to all of those of whom we hold within. May they live on forever in the prayers and meditations of our hearts. May we forever receive their beauty, hope, love, compassion, and faith. Please rise. Embody your spirit to join our voices in hymn number 1008 in the teal hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. touching the ancestors while the veil remains thin, knowing that they are held in the depths of your soul, holding just who you are in this moment and every moment. May you shape your legacy that will reverberate throughout the generations, affecting all of those of whom you will never even meet. Not immortal in body, but everlasting through spirit. In the trees and the wind, they are with us. Go in peace and amen.